What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. I thought I would do a little rambling video today. I know a lot of people are in the middle of their finals. A lot of people are worrying about their different stuff. A lot of people are working hard. Views are down a little bit on the channel. Views are down across YouTube in general. And so I thought we could take it easy this week. I'd get caught up on some video games. I'd still stream every night. And I'll make easy content this week and just focus on some of the other things that I needed to focus on in my life. And for those of you who aren't familiar, this is my rambling video in which I talk about myself, my life, the universe, things around me that are particularly interesting to me. Recently, quite a bit about my health because we're going through some pretty big changes to the health stuff. And I do want to start there by saying more good news. We continue to move closer to surgery. Still no roadblocks. This week we have a meeting with a counselor, and we're going to talk about the mental health stuff going into it. We had a meeting with the same counselor last week. Then the week after that, we go into the exercise portion. I'm going to show her my DDP exercises and show her that's what I do for exercise and see if we can increase that and maybe introduce some new exercises, stuff like that, all in preparation for surgery. And that means, once again, even though my wife is entirely free from her work right now and has been working at home, full-time homekeeper and full-time CEO of Boogie Core, she does a good amount of the work these days. Mostly the cleaning up for Francis videos and the sketch writing and stuff like that, some of the joke writing. But even though she is free up, we will not be going to E3 again this year. A lot of people have been asking. The reason we're not going is because we have so many meetings that we have to do between now and weight loss surgery. And even though it could be possible that weight loss surgery will never happen, even though it's possible that it could not happen even in 2017, we are pushing towards our first possible window of time to be maybe July or August, as I've said. So we're trying to get as much of the work done and make as many of the changes now and stuff like that moving forward. So pretty excited about it. And again, the more people hear what kind of surgery I'm getting, they ask questions, what kind of surgery are you getting? A lot of people think liposuction, which is weird because liposuction is not a fat person's surgery. It is a slightly overweight person's surgery. It's generally for very skinny people who want to get small amounts of the fat removed around their waist or their buttocks, get some of the cellulite out of their thighs, that kind of thing. That's a cosmetic surgery. What they'll actually be doing for me, and I guess I did not realize I had not answered this question before, is what's considered weight loss surgery or bariatric surgery. There's three different types that they used to do. There's really only two types my doctor offers. One is where they go into the stomach and remove a large portion of the stomach, leaving just a banana-sized sleeve, a gastric sleeve is what they call it. And the rest of it is removed and discarded, and then your stomach will heal, and then you'll have a stomach that's about a quarter of the size of a normal stomach, or probably a sixth or a seventh as small as my existing stomach right now, which obviously will make it a lot easier to become full. It makes it a lot easier to eat less food. It forces you to eat less food, and it's a great tool in helping you control what you eat and help you lose weight. The other surgery is to create is called a gastric bypass. It's a little more complicated, but it's similar to the sleeve. But what they do is they leave a little tiny egg-sized stomach so that you can only eat a fraction of the food. And this is a surgery they've been doing for over 20 years. And that's probably the one that we are leaning towards, though there's reasons to lean towards sleeve as well. But I think probably even though it has a lot of downsides, it has a lot of upsides too. The little egg-shaped bypass is probably the way that we are going to go. And a lot of people have been very critical of that. Boogie, I can't believe that instead of doing it the easy way, or I guess the hard way, I don't know, it depends on the person who's criticizing me at the time, but instead of doing it the normal, natural, easy way, or the normal, natural, hard way, I don't know, whichever, it depends on who's criticizing me. Instead of doing it the natural way, why are you opting for the surgery? Because we tried the natural way. For the last 5 years, we did literally everything there was. We tried, this exclusive diet, that exclusive diet, trying to exercise, trying to control what I eat, trying to calorie count, try to do it all. And at the end of the day, I just don't have the discipline to do what needs to be done without that tool. I think that tool is going to help me gather that discipline because it forces the discipline on you. Also, you get a 6-month period where you just simply cannot eat food. You can only eat tiny little amounts of food. And during that period of time, you will be surgically forced to lose 100-some pounds. And then that will make it a lot easier for me to physically move, to physically exist, to physically do stuff. What's interesting about all of this is a lot of people have said, and a lot of people are discussing me over the past couple of weeks. A lot of people have been discussing me over the past couple of weeks, including, and I don't want to bring politics into it too much, but I've been on the front page of Reddit, which is a website known as the front page of the internet, and one of the most prolific if not most viewed subreddits there is in president. It's support of our president Donald Trump, and they call it /r/the Donald, and it's pretty much one of the only places that is like positive towards our president over there. The problem is they're fairly combative. They're fairly, I don't know, 4channy, I guess you could say, and they tend to discuss me in a very negative light, which is reasonable. One of the cases they will routinely make is that because of my size, because of the weight, and because of putting the weight onto me that I have put, I am one of the reasons that the healthcare industry is so screwed up and why it's so expensive here in America, because people like me can run up a bill. And it's true. I've run up quite a few bills in my past. I've paid them before I had health insurance. I did once have to rely on disability to help me pay one of those once. So they have a very valid point there. And of course, if I ever do have another stroke or heart attack, which is eventual, obviously with my size and my age, if I survive that, it could cost my insurance company, now that I'm insured. We pay $750 a month for insurance. Even though we're paying in, $11,000, $12,000 a year, it will probably cost considerably more than that if I survive that stroke or heart attack. So they have a very valid point there that I don't disagree with, but they tend to take it in this like kind of straw man argument, and it tends to be fairly fake newsy. Like recently there's a tweet that I never made that's been making the front page over there, and they'll take screen caps from France's videos and say that that's me and that's how I actually act and stuff like that. It's been really funny. It's actually, like at first it started to bother me, but then I realized these are the people that are supposed to hate fake news, and they're using fake news and creating a straw man argument on me. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to criticize anybody for their politics. I certainly don't want to do that. You're welcome to feel however you feel when it comes to politics. I think it was Thomas Jefferson who said, I've never felt that religion or politics was a reason to withdraw from a friend, and I certainly do not want to reject you because of your politics, and I hope that you won't reject me. That said, one of the reasons I'm trying to get this surgery is so that I can live longer, pay more into the system. I'm paying for the surgery entirely out of pocket. My health insurance is not liable for a dime of any of this. We're paying for it entirely out of pocket, $18,000. Which we saved up to get, to have, so that I won't cost the insurance company so much money, so that I won't cost you money. That's the entire point. But those same people are very negative about the surgery. Boogie, why would you want them to cut up your stomach? Why would you want them to do this to you? Why would you want them to remove part of your vital organs? Why would you risk your life to do this? Well, I'm going to die one way or the other. It's not much of a risk. It's not much of a risk. If I stay fat, I'm going to die pretty damn soon anyway. Especially with my health and my blood pressure and my diabetes and stuff like that being a little out of control. This is I'm pretty much knocking on that door anyway, so that's not much of a risk. But I do it because I want to live longer. I want to be healthier. I want to be skinnier. I want to be in physically less pain, less mental pain, and hopefully not be such a drain on the system. Even though we pay more into the system than we spend, eventually I could be a drain of the system, and I just kind of want to prevent that. This is how I think a lot these days. I don't know. It's interesting. But one of the questions that I think I've been asked the most lately, and this is the one I wanted to comment on today, was isn't he miserable to be in that body, to be in that shape, to be that person? Isn't he miserable? And I think the answer to that question is, and the more I think about it, the answer is yes. I am in chronic physical pain every day that I wake up to the moment I go to bed, and the entirety of the time that I'm sleeping. I am miserable while I'm sleeping. I don't even sleep right. Mentally, I'm in mental anguish. I probably always will be for the entirety of my life, ever since I was a little kid, to probably when I'm an old man, if I ever get so lucky to be an old man. But the problem is, and I was thinking about this a lot, and I plan to talk to my counselor about it this week, I've always been miserable, and I'm less miserable today in this body, in this brain, than I've ever been. I worked myself up from a family that hated me. And I worked myself up from a family that despised me, and being born into abject poverty. I was once homeless at one point. And you want to talk about miserable? Being homeless is pretty fucking miserable. Being physically beaten, sexually assaulted, and mentally assaulted every day. That's miserable, right? And so when I wake up in this body every day, and I wake up in, this house with the toys and the video games and my wife and my dog and my audience and my job and everything that I love, I'm still physically miserable, and I'm still mentally batshit crazy, but I'm less crazy and less miserable than I've ever been. And that's how you become complacent, I think. My situation is better than it used to be, so I don't I don't know what it's like to wake up not crazy. I don't know what it's like to wake up not in physical pain. I don't know what it's like to have nice teeth or to have a nice body or to have a face people like to look at or have a brain that functions. I've never known that. So I think the perspective is lost when people look in from the outside from their normalcy to see me the way that I am. They think, oh, why wouldn't he want to be normal like me? I don't know what it's like to be normal to you. I look at you and you're just as foreign to me as I am to you. You seem just as different as I seem to you because I've never known normal. And you know what? If I lose a bunch of weight, I'll still probably be physically broke. The damage I've done in my body is pretty much permanent at this point, and the mental damage is permanent as well. So yeah, that misery is there, but the truth is I'm happy, and the truth is I'm happier than I've ever been. And I just love what I have. And even though there's a lot of mental craziness and even though there's a lot of physical pain, I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't give it up for the world. I've always been afraid to risk it. Now with the surgery coming up, we're risking everything. We're risking that the pressure of the surgery and the pressure of the lifestyle changes, that my brain can handle it, that my job can handle it, that my family can handle it, that my body can handle the surgery. I'm ready to roll the dice. And so many people are critical. And so many people are telling me I shouldn't do it. When it's obviously the right thing to do. It's the right thing for me. It's the right thing for my family. It's the right thing for even the people that criticize me every day on the internet. I'm so used to getting it from the liberals. I'm so used to getting it from the left because of, me being fairly libertarian, being fairly neutral about stuff. So the left really hates me, but it's so weird catching it from the right. But that's the problem with being in the middle. You're extreme to all extremists. If you're in the middle, if you're in a logical thinking position, you're an extremist to both the left and the right. It's so weird that this last couple of weeks has involved catching hell from the right. But it is what it is, I often say this on stream. Don't know that I've ever put it on video, so I like to put it on video here for you now. And this is the way I've learned to deal with this stuff. People ask me all the time, other YouTubers, other creators, other people just dealing with life and dealing with people at their work and dealing with school. They'll ask me all the time, Boogie, how do you deal with all that hate? How do you deal with all that criticism? The criticism I don't mind. Fair criticism, I do not mind. Fake tweets and fake memes and stuff like that. That is frustrating. And wishing death upon me or hoping that I die, that's really tough to deal with sometimes. But the way that I've learned to deal with it over the years is, number one, it's not that different from what I grew up with. My mom used to say that shit to me all the time. So, I wish you were dead. Thanks, Mom. I'm just trying to do my homework. Right? But you're the worst thing that ever happened to me. Okay. Well, thanks, Mom. I'm just going to try to do some homework here. So that's not that foreign to me. It's just kind of a constant thing since I was a kid. But here's how I think about it. And I hope that the next time you're dealing with somebody who doesn't like you, an ex-girlfriend, an ex-boyfriend, somebody at work, a boss that doesn't like you, a coworker, someone at school, whoever. There are, 7 billion people in the world? I think that's the right number. If I'm remembering wrong, please forgive me. But I think it's 7 billion people in the world, right? Including the entire world, like 1 billion people in China alone. 350 million in the United States, I think. Well, anyway, 7 billion people in the world. And out of those people, the mass majority of them will never know who you are. They'll never know who I am. I'm just a person. I'm just another person, one of 7 billion. One of billions that have ever lived. So the vast majority of people will never know who I am, and that's fine. So I don't really care about those people because they don't care about me and I don't know them. So I have no reason to care about them. That group, set them aside. There's a second group of people who are going to meet you and dislike you. They're going to dislike what you do, what you stand for, how you do it, who you are, the way you look, the way you dress, the person you are, the politics, the religion, whatever it is. They're going to take one look at you and say, I don't like that. I don't like your Francis sketches. I don't like you. I don't like your news. I don't like the fact that you're fat. I don't like you. I don't like anything about you. Please go fuck yourself. I hope you die. It's hard to deal with those people, but there's another group of people that's way more important, and that's the people that meet you and care about you and that like you, right? And for me, I'm very fortunate because that number is in the thousands. A lot of people tune in every day to check out how I'm doing, and they follow me on Twitter, and they want to know how I'm doing, and it's great. And then I've got more friends than I ever thought I could have ever had. I have a wife who loves me deeply, who got with me when I was flat broke and is still with me to this day. I've got a dog that loves me. I've got her family that I married into that loves me. My brother and my sister care very deeply about me. And that's great. That's great. Maybe you won't be as fortunate. Maybe you'll only have one or two people that care about you. But even if it's just one other person, in a world filled with 7 billion people, you could pay attention to the 6.999999999 billion people that do not give a shit about you, or you can focus on that handful of people that despise you, or you can focus on the people that care. I learned how to focus on the people that care. Those of you who are not being critical right now, but being supportive about the surgery, about the weight loss, about the life that I've led, about the person that I am, the person that I've become, not because of the obesity, but in spite of it, not because of the mental illness, but in spite of it, you know? And, you guys are pivotal at creating that. Without you, I'm nothing. I've said that a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Thank you for building what we've built. Thank you for creating what we've created together. And I'm so glad that you benefit from watching it. So glad you benefit from the videos, and so glad that you benefit from me existing. And I want you to know that I benefit just as much. So, I don't know. What a weird couple of weeks. Being on the front page of Reddit for all the wrong reasons. I wish they were at least linking to a video so I got something good out of it. I don't know. All right, guys, I will let you go. I should probably use a keyword for this week. So let's talk about life, man. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get more life. I'm trying to live longer. I want to live longer. And I want to undo some of my stupid mistakes and hopefully live free of those consequences for the first time in my life, even if it's just for a couple of years. So guys, do me a favor. Tell me what your life is like. Tell me if you have enough lives in your favorite video game, an infinite life combo in Super Mario Brothers, if you know how to do that. Whatever it is, use the word life in your comment below, and I'll know you made it all the way to the end of this, probably, 20-minute video. I don't know. My videos have been real long lately. Sorry about that. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon. And don't worry, I'll keep you updated on the surgery stuff, because it's interesting. I hope it happens this year. If it were up to me, I would do it today. Love you.